Welcome back to Animal Crossing New Horizons. I'm dear darling. Shall we see what's going on our lovely island of Fawnhollow today? It was sweltering heat right now, at least in the UK. It's pretty damn hot, is what I'm gonna say. So, we'll get straight into it. Back to the sort of usual times for recording Animal Crossing, because I was thinking about it, I was like, do I want to record later? No, not really. I've been falling a bit behind on recording, so I need to record some more Aquaman and Hollow Knight later on. But anyway, hello there everyone. Right now in Fawnhollow, it's 3:17 PM on Saturday, August 8th, 2020. No big announcements today. Instead, allow me to wish you all a fun Fawnhollow weekend. Thank you very much, Isabel. We'll get straight onto it doing... It's still a bit early, so we can't really... I'm looking up a list of things to catch. There's not really much apart from a giant ice pod, which I guess we'll hunt around for. A giant ice pod and a walker cicada. We've got a song from Flick. Dear patron of the arts, behold my piece inspired by the noble great purple emperor. Sadly my work can reveal only a fraction of its likeness. May it bring bugs ever further into your heart. Thank you for that. I guess we also need to clear out our storage, presumably, after looking at all these gifts we got sitting in our inventory. So, what have I been up to today? Played some more TFT, as usual. Did a little bit of programming, not much, and did a little bit of drawing. Not all that much. I feel like I haven't actually been up to much today. What have I been doing? I don't even know what I did in the morning. You ever get that? You just, you know, the rest of the day you're just like, what? What did I do? Okay, storage full. Storage full, please clear out. Okay. Maybe we should start getting rid of things we don't actually want to use, I suppose. Because we've got, like, way too many things. Like, let's start getting rid of these cheap things, because we can always order them on the catalogue again, should we require them later. Oh yeah, we should be clearing clothes. We probably have a lot of duplicate clothes. And I think we can order clothes from the catalogue as well. So we don't need every single variation of this. Like, we don't need this one, this one, this one. Probably don't need that one. Just get rid of some of them, you know? I know we could be looking down getting rid of some actual duplicates, but... Like, we're never going to really use these cycling shirts. Those are things we're only going to give out to people. What else? I mean, this is basically all we can do until Nintendo gives us some more storage space. Until then, this is what we have. We had to get rid of things we might like a lot, and the problem is only going to get worse and worse and worse. As we get more and more things added to the game. But you know, we might as well put in the effort now to try and clear some of this out, why don't we? So yeah, what have I been doing recently? You know, one thing I do want to talk about is Fall Guys. It's a game that's come out recently. If you're in the gaming sphere, you've probably seen it. It's come out to large success, I would say. Quite surprisingly, so much so that the servers are probably having a very rough time right now trying to load everyone in under such strain and all that. Which I don't blame them for. You know, whenever your indie game, I imagine, like, takes off with such rapid success, far more than you expect, you're probably like, oh god, what do we do? And it's always your servers that suffer if it's online, obviously, because, I mean, like, what else would suffer if it wasn't online? I guess I don't really think through that point. I don't really know if I had a point in retrospect, but still. The point being now, we don't need a micro tree locus. That wasn't the point. I just saw something hopping in the background, and in my mind I was like, I should go catch it, and then I was like, nope, don't need to anymore. The point being, I'm happy with Fall Guys. I bought it myself. I played it with some of my friends, and it's good fun. What can I say? It's sort of like Takeshi's Castle or MXC. I feel like I spoke about this recently. No, I didn't even speak about Fall Guys. I actually just spoke about Takeshi's Castle, didn't I? I remember. Well, now we can talk about Fall Guys, which is basically if you made Takeshi's Castle combined it with Mario Party-esque minigames, or just party minigames in general that you find on, like, silly, like, games you might find, multiplayer games you'll find on Wii. You know what we should do? Let's sort out our flowers, because we haven't done that for a while. Like silly party games you'd find on Wii that you play together. They're not obviously all that balanced, but they're normally quite fast-paced, hectic, fun, that sort of thing. And yeah, basically 60 of you little blob creatures, blob men, blob things, of some sort. Enter arena, you get put through like a gauntlet of different games. Some of them like obstacle courses, some of them are survival based, some of them are team based, like capture of flag style, or all sorts of different sort of things. Oh, Vivian, you're wearing that. In fact, like, haven't seen you wear that for quite a while. We'll leave you to it. Maybe we should give out gifts as well, because we haven't done that for a while. I mean, we did it yesterday, obviously, but giving out gifts is probably something we should do most days rather than just once in a while, you know? What do you think about that, Roscoe? Not much to say? Fair enough. Is it this one? Yeah, probably. I don't know. Sorry, I've got a little bit of hay fever going on, I suppose. Too much pollen in the air. Probably should close my window, but it's so hot. But I don't want to entirely. I'm gonna run out of space in our inventory soon. So we've got a load of black cosmoses and tulips. I guess we can put down somewhere. Over the rainbow. Wait, okay, that's for purples. I guess we can start doing the outside parts of this with black flowers, I suppose, and orange will be subject to the inside only. This is me just trying to force flowers everywhere because I don't know where else to put them, to be quite frank. We've got an overabundance of flowers everywhere. So yeah, Fall Guys is pretty fun. It feels a nice niche, I feel like, in the industry. Of like perhaps a less serious battle royale. I know we had like Tetris 999 before. That was kind of less serious, but it's also quite competitive at the same time. Fall Guys is like, it's inherently like an unfair minigame battle royale in some aspect. Like the most skilled player won't necessarily always win because there's a lot of RNG elements, I suppose. And it's you can obviously influence. Like I'm not gonna say it doesn't take skill to win in the game. It obviously does take some skill. Like, if you just sat there doing nothing, you'd definitely lose. You can't randomly win. You can't be like, Luigi wins by doing nothing. But it's perhaps the most fun, unfair game I've played, you know? Because, I mean, when you're playing it, you're not like, oh man, I'm going to try super hard to get my Battle Royale victory. You mean, just look at the game. You look at the game, you're like, this is obviously a game I'm not meant to take very seriously. And you don't take it very seriously. You play it and you're like, haha, this is good fun. That sounds obviously very overly patronising and reductive, which is not really what I meant. I'm just trying to say it's a fun game, alright? It's a fun party game, and I like party games. Collections, like, after Mario Party is probably my favourite party game of all time. It might actually beat out Mario Kart in a lot of cases, and they've kind of slaughtered it in the spirit of it in the most recent version, so having something which scratches that minigame itch is pretty good. Mind you, it's not a board game, or... oh, I don't think Lily of the Valleys could even spawn for us right now. Mind you, it doesn't have obviously it doesn't have the board game aspect of Mario Party, which is, you know, one of the main selling points, but it's got the mini game aspect down. And Mario Party, actually, to be fair, Mario Party has pretty good mini games. Even recent versions of Mario Party, I don't know why I keep randomly just stopping. Oh, we should be putting purple flowers over here. We should be reserving red flowers over here as well. Do we have any red flowers on us? We've got red pansy and red cosmos. We can start replacing these ones with red. And then once we, of course, get the 10 villages that I want to stick with for the rest of the game, that's probably when I'll start actually properly redesigning my island, which will be fun again. A lot of effort, but I had to start putting the plans in motion. We've got some purple mums, which I guess we'll throw down here somewhere. Where there's space, basically. We're kind of running out of space again. I don't know. I've just seen like other videos of other people's islands. I don't know how they make the island feel so spacious. Why does mine feel so cramped? Like, there's something like every few meters or something. I don't know. Yeah. I guess we're going to talk about Mario Party now. Mario Party is something I played a quite decent amount of. I'm trying to think what my first Mario Party I ever played was. I think it must have been Mario Party 4. I don't know where though I played it. But I own Mario Party 8, 9, 6 and 4, I think. You might say that's a bit of a weird collection. Well, I think Mario Party 4, well, Mario Party 1, 2 and 3 are... Actually no, now I think about it, I definitely played Mario Party 1. before Mario Party 4. Anyway, that's not really the point. Mario Party 1, 2, and 3 are all classics. People rate Mario Party 1 highly, except for, you know, the whole people getting blisters and all that from the rotation games, you know. That's obviously not good. And I won't try to frame that in any other light apart from being not good. But it's got a lot of nostalgia with it. It's got some pretty classic minigames, I'm sure. Not one I can think of off the top of my head because I played it when I was quite young, so I don't remember a lot of it. It's got that mushroom game, right? It's got the Shy Guy Says, I think that's in it. That's a pretty good one. Why don't we start getting some prezzies out as well for villages? Yeah. I don't know. It's got some other good ones, probably. I can't really think of the minigames off the top of my head, but whatever. Mario Party 2, I don't play Mario Party 2. I think it's still regarded as a fond successor to Mario Party 1, right? So, you know, still doing strong there, still doing strong. We need to get 2 more fruits, so I guess we'll just grab them from Sylvana's place. Mario Party 3, I'm not sure how well regarded Mario Party 3 is, to be honest. I think it's got some good regards. But it's not like it was a standout. Mario Party 4 is when it leaps around to being like... I think if you ask a lot of people Mario Party 4, well, depending on their ages, of course, Mario Party 4 will probably be their favourite Mario Party of installment, and I get it. It's not one I grew up with, to be fair, but it's one I have, and I do like it. Mario Party 5 and 6 I think are a bit weird. No, I don't remember Mario Party 5, now I remember. Now I think about it. I don't even remember who was in Mario Party 5. Is that when they introduced like Boo and Toad and Toadette as playable characters, or were they always playable characters? I don't remember. So I'm just trying to sort out the fruit situation, go on my inventory so we can do some easy present gifting. Mario Party 6 I have a soft spot for because they have something called 8-player minigames in, which, I mean, I didn't have 8 friends to play with at the time. Actually, that's not true. I definitely did have 8 friends I could have played with at the time. It's more like I didn't have nearly enough GameCube controllers. I only had 1. So, but that sort of thing, that 8-player minigames, that 8-player game mode, that's something which, I don't know, I like the appeal of. It's something that appeals to me. I'm just like, that's a cool idea for what they had at the time. So, you know, I got a soft spot for it. They had like a day-night cycle going on in the boards. It was an interesting mechanic, I suppose. Mario Party 7, I don't really remember. I don't think I've ever played, so can't really comment on it. Mario Party 8, that was the one I properly grew up with, I suppose. Sorry, I'm just having a quick scan of the area. Seeing what flowers we need to remove and all that. Mario Party 8 was the one I grew up with. I'm gonna say it's probably not the best Mario Party in retrospect, but it's the one I definitely have the most nostalgia for. It's definitely one of my favourite ones. The main downside, I think, to it is it's got, obviously because it's on a Wii, it had a huge amount of motion. I was going to say stop motion controls. That's not a word. Just regular motion controls. Oh, shovel. Well, I guess we need to buy another one from the shop. What was I going to plant here? I was going to plant this. What was I saying? Oh yeah, I think it's the fact it had so many stop motion controls in it did kind of I said stop motion again. So many motion controls in it definitely didn't do it any favors, in my opinion. I think it suffered from that fact. All the weeds. I was thinking, like, where were our weeds gone? Because I hadn't pulled all that many for many days. So yeah, I feel like a fly just flew into my room. I just heard a buzzing noise. I can't see it though, so I don't know. I guess it wins this time. The Joy-Con drift on this green. My left green Joy-Con is actually insane right now. Yeah, Mario Party 8 has a lot of motion control minigames. Some of them are kind of good, like Shake It Up is pretty good because it's one that's simple. There's a flag cranking one. I don't think that one's that great, to be honest. I can't remember many others, but I still have a lot of fun with it. I still have the most fond memories, I suppose, playing Mario Party 8. And that's the one I played a lot with friends. Now when Mario Party 9 came out, very controversial move. Instead of being able to move separately, everyone moves in a big car together. And I'll be honest, perhaps a bit of a divisive opinion, I think Mario Party 9 is not that bad. I think it's bad in some aspects, as in it abandons previous core feelings, I suppose, of Mario Party. What we're buying a gift wrap. Of like, obviously it removes like almost all the strategy from it, and you can't have any items. Are there even items in Mario Party 9? I don't remember. It sort of seems like a change that was unnecessary, which is kind of like what Nintendo do. They like to try and innovate, which in some aspects is good, because you come up with cool new mechanics and all that stuff. But sometimes, you know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, you know? I understand Nintendo's logic. They're sort of like, why would we make the same game again? Even if it's just like the same game, just but like, you know, upgraded and better or something. And like, we already did explore the mechanics in that one. We explored the story there is to tell. And in some aspect, I do respect that. But, you know, I don't always want that. I suppose as an end product consumer. Sometimes if I really like a mechanic, sometimes I'm not like, oh, that was cool. That was like a good meal. Sometimes I'm like if I, this is a terrible analogy. If I had some good food, sometimes I'm like, wow, that was good food. But not a lot of the time I'm like, that was a good food. I don't want to ever try that again. That's something that's reserved for like novel experiences. Like maybe some like really expensive food, or like some very weird food that, you know, as like a delicacy in some countries or whatever. That's a situation where you eat it and you're like, okay, that was cool. I'm not going to have that again. Most of the time you eat it and you're like, man, I really like this taste. I want more of this, you know? And then Nintendo tend to try and innovate and try and bring something new every single time. And sometimes that's good, obviously, but sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's like, I just want what I had before, but like, you know, better. But whatever. Mario Party. Oh yeah, that was my whole point of Mario Party 9. Mario Party 9 is so much more RNG based, which actually makes it kind of better as a party game. Controversially, maybe. But I think the best party games are ones which are actually not entirely RNG focused, but there should be not a good chance, but a reasonable chance for the worst player to win. Now you might be like, what? What are you saying? That's absolute madness. I don't think it is. I think party games, they're meant to be enjoyed, you know, as a journey rather than the competition, is how I describe it, you know. Party games, they shouldn't be played necessarily, they should be played with some competitive aspect, of course. You shouldn't like be like so blazing and be like, oh, I don't care about winning or whatever. I'm gonna just like troll. But the main aspect is to have fun, right? And people like winning. And it kind of sucks if you're the person who's probably like the worst at the game. Maybe you're like, you don't play a lot of games or something, but your friends who do, and you want to like have fun with them, and it kind of sucks, you know, to partake in their hobby and basically be like, I'm gonna get, unless you're, especially if you are someone who has any sort of competitive nature, you're basically like, I'm gonna get basically no enjoyment from this because there's 0% chance I'm ever gonna win, which is what the point of a party game is sort of to like bridge that gap, is how I describe it, between people who don't play party games a lot, or any sort of video game a lot, to give them not like an edge, but like a fighting chance, either to, in the case of like Mario Party 9, to actually come out with a victory somehow, or in the case of like Mario Kart Wii, where you can actually just royally screw everyone over with crazy catch-up mechanics like lightning or the blue shell, because, you know, human nature, what's the word, schadenfreude, isn't it? Even if I can't win, bringing my friends down with me, or like ruining their plans, throwing a span into the works, can be fun sometimes as well. Let's be honest. So that's why I actually think Mario Party 9 is better, because with like growing up with Mario Party 8, obviously I was the only one who owned Mario Party. Well, I shouldn't say obviously, but I was the only one who owned Mario Party, and bought really any Wii games for that matter. So obviously I spent a lot of time playing it, and I got like really good at Mario Party 8. I got really good at the minigames, I got really good at like understanding how the board works, I knew all the secrets basically, and playing them with a lot of my friends. Like, some of them played video games from time to time, probably not nearly as much as me, some of them maybe, well, nowadays it's probably inverted, but we'll see. But we had one friend who basically very, very rarely played games, or any sort of video games, and he was also very competitive, so I'd imagine it was less fun playing Mario Party 8. He still had fun, like, because he still won sometimes, obviously, because Mario Party 8 inherently is a RNG based game, RNG being like random number generator. Basically, I mean there's random aspects in the game. That's not what I meant to say, but sure. But with Mario Party 9, the fact that it's so random, it feels like there's so many equalization opportunities just through pure chance. It does keep it hectic if you sort of like, if you're the more competitive person who's like, I want my skill to dictate how well I'm going to do in this game, you sort of take a step back from it a bit and be like, you know, whatever, I'm just here to sort of vibe and go with the flow. Which, you know, I understand, not everyone's there for that. But, you know, I think that's a great benefit of party games. Things like Mario Party and all that. They should be able to be enjoyed by anyone, no matter skill level and no matter the composition of people you got playing together. You know? I think Mario Kart also does a pretty good job of that because of Mario Kart, obviously, with its ridiculous comeback mechanics of the bullet bill, like, you know, the fact that you get better items when you're further behind, that sort of thing. Catch-up mechanics. Inherently, obviously, it's not going to make a particularly balanced game. But it's fun for people when you're not as good, right? Because it's a thing. Losing, not particularly fun. You know, it's boring. People like to get a win every now and then. Like even me, I'm super non-competitive. But you know, if you gave me the choice between winning all my games or losing all my games, and you know, I'd have equal amount of fun in either one, I'd go with winning all my games, obviously. Because like, why wouldn't you? You must be like a masochist if you want to lose all your games, if you'd get equal fun out of also winning all the games. But it's a thing, losing all the time, not fun, but also winning all the time, also not that fun, depending on how it goes. Because when you play games, you want to win, but you don't want it to be like a complete blowout. Or I shouldn't say you don't want it, because it varies from person to person. I would say the average person doesn't want a complete blowout. They want to feel like they earned their victory and they want it to feel close. But the fact, they want it to feel close and they want it to feel like they... Joy-Con, come on. They want to feel like they scraped out the victory in the end, right? So that's what Mario Kart does pretty well in. By... So, you can argue it's a bit of a ham-fisted way to sort of put in comeback mechanics. And yeah, I kind of agree with you there. It's a very strong way of doing it, shall we say. And not that there's anything wrong with that, but it keeps it interesting. Like the looming threat of a blue shell, like in the horizon, when you're in first place, keeps you on your toes. If you're the sort of person to absolutely dominate and shut people out, which, not to brag, but in Mario Kart Wii, I was pretty good. Nowadays, probably not so much. I'm still pretty good. I still got like residual knowledge and all that, but Mario Kart Wii, I played so much Mario Kart Wii, I beat like all the expert time trials, and who have we not given presents to? Oh, Lily, Roscoe, I think we gave them to Diana. We did indeed. What was I saying? Oh, conversation. Did you get my note, hee? Yes, you really do have the most creative ideas, Poppet. So you understand what I was getting at? I guess I was afraid I wasn't making a lot of sense. Oh, I just love your idea to base a recipe for coconut cream pie on disco music. Pardon? That's so flattering to hear, thanks. I have lots more ideas like that. Please, send me whatever ideas you come up with. It'll be like I won a free subscription to Clever Living. Oh, that's so wholesome. What was I saying? Yeah, being completely dominant in a game, especially when you're playing with friends, not that fun. Being first all the time with no threat. Unless you like play the heel or whatever, you play the villain, be like, ho ho ho, you'll never defeat me, and then you eventually lose. But like, that's the point. That's the point of a blue shell. That's the point of the lightning bolt. That's the point of whatever. Risk, you know. And the best part is, with Mario Kart, at least, I'm not sure if it still works in Mario Kart 8 or whatever. Excuse me. Is they had, actually now I think about it, I'll get to Mario Kart 8 in a sec, but with Mario Kart, at least Wii, you had a mechanic. It was a very rare mechanic which was hard to execute, where you could actually dodge blue shells if you had sorry, my Joy-Con. If you had a mushroom and you timed it perfectly well. So that is actually a really cool like element of skill expression, I suppose, even if you're in first. Because it's the sort of fear, if you have a blue shell in your game, it can feel kind of cheap, and people in first can sort of feel like they just get like robbed of a victory, somewhat. But with that mechanic, it's a very difficult. It's not like extremely difficult. I could do it. Ho, ho, ho. Not to brag, but it's a difficult mechanic for your average person to pull off. And also you had to play extremely greedily, because to do it you had to have a mushroom, and you don't get mushrooms in first place, or you do. If you do, it's extremely rare. So you had to sort of grab a mushroom when you're like 5th or 6th, and then get to first place basically without items, and then once you're there, you can use that mechanic. And it's interesting, because it gives you a bit of skill expression, I suppose, when you're first place, to sort of circumvent the inevitable blue shell, making it not so inevitable. Now it's something that you can dodge if you tried, if you were good enough, basically. So I think that's pretty cool. And I was saying, like, I'm not sure if you can do that in Mario Kart 8, and I forgot, or Mario Kart 7 even. I forget that in those games you got a loudspeaker, which again sort of replaces it. Instead of having to do a mushroom boost, you now do it with a loudspeaker instead, because you have to hold on to a loudspeaker, because you don't get it in first, you get it in like 5th or 6th, maybe 4th even, maybe 3rd. So you have to grab a loudspeaker, then make it into first, and then hold it there, and then you can use that blue, use it to stop a blue shell, which comes your way. Which is pretty great, you know? It's a good item to add to the game. I feel like Nintendo do party games decently well. I've got to be honest, I never played Mario Party 10. I don't know if it's any good. That's a Bowser one, right? So, I don't know, I skipped that one. I have Super Mario Party. Super Mario Party is okay. It's just sort of lackluster, is my opinion. They're sort of returning back to the Mario Party 8 style formula, which, you know, I'm thankful for. I love it. The partner mechanic is meh. It's sort of like another one of these things, you know, Nintendo introduces a new mechanic in a new game. Sometimes it hits, sometimes it doesn't. This one was like, I don't really care about it. It doesn't really feel like it impacts me much until we play partner minigames, and then I'm like, oh man, I don't have any partners, this sucks, or I have tons of partners, this is too easy, that sort of thing. They don't have a lot of boards, they have like 4 boards. I can't even remember them, because I guess they're not that distinct. Like, the first 3 are the same, beam, and they're not exactly the same, but the 4th one is like slightly different, because you have to buy out to like 2 and 3 stars at the same time, and the price of stars are randomized or something. Which is a far cry from Mario Party 8, which I thought the boards were pretty uniquely different. Like, you got the DK board, which is just sort of like your standard vanilla board, what you compare it to. You got your Goomba Pirate Boardwalk, or whatever it's called. That's the one where it's basically a huge line, and you basically had to travel spaces as fast as you can. What else? You had the Boo's Mansion, which was a big maze, which was pretty fun. You had Shy Guy Express, which was a very hectic, sort of like a combination of a maze and not really a maze. It's like with Pirate Boardwalk, where you had to go forward and then you had to make your way back. And that's what you had to do. Go forward, back, forward, back. But the thing is, the train carriages could move around like crazy, and there's a lot of like movement options and spaces in that game, which kept it dynamic, kept it interesting. And then of course the most unique board, the Cooper board, where you basically had to invest money in hotels to get your stars. It wasn't my favourite board, but it was definitely very, very interesting. Let's see how memorable those are. I mean, they even got the duelist board, the Bowser board, which you start off with your stars, and you win more stars by stealing them from your duel opponent. Like, see how recognisable and distinct mechanics and unique each of those boards are. Which is what I really think they're missing in Super Mario Party. Super Mario Party had such potential, I think, to basically be like... Oh, is that what we need to catch? I don't know. The New Horizons, I suppose, of a Mario Party series. Like, think of like the Grand Mario Party, where it's got, yes, and it's a Walker Cicada. Something calls you Walker Deer. I didn't really read what it said. It had a grand chance to basically like a compilation of all the best hits, the best minigames from obviously Mario Parties, like bring back the cool boards and all that. And it was just sort of meh. I mean, he also, and I think it had great potential to had a lot of updates as well for different boards, different mini games to come out. You know, add more characters or something. Bring back Birdo is all I'm gonna say. But it just, I don't know, it didn't hit my mark, so that's unfortunate. But anyway, but Walker Cicada is quite a noisy thing. I tell you, this impolite pest simply cannot abide with quiet. In the heat of a summer, the male strikes up a strange rattling song, hoping to woo a mate. When other male cicadas hear this rhythmic racket, they join right in, as if they were sing along. My head aches at the thought of it. So yeah, I hope they come out with like the Mario Party Ultimate or something for Switch, you know, like the Smash Bros. Ultimate, where they basically make the ultimate Mario Party game, the timeless Mario Party game for Switch for like the next 10 years or something. But I don't know. I guess the Mario Party games probably didn't sell very well or something, so they probably aren't too keen on doing that, but whatever. That's conversations for another time. We've reached 30 minutes basically for now. We caught the Walker Cicada, so yeah, we don't have many things left to catch. Let's see, we got the softshell turtle, the giraffe stag, the golden stag, giant isopod, vampire squid, horseshoe crab. Not a lot to catch, so we're getting there. But let's round off this episode here. So if you have been watching, thank you very much. This has been Animal Crossing New Horizons, and I've been Dear Darling. Any likes, comments, and subscriptions are greatly appreciated, and I hope we can see each other again. But for now, it's our farewell. So until next time, with KK Cider, bye bye for now. Please, Mario Party Ultimate Nintendo. That's what I want.